Did France play a role in the Iranian Revolution? Well, that's what we're going to be talking about today. It's me, Mr. Antiquity. Welcome to the channel. So France, the land of love, the land of lights, also the land of baguettes and barrettes. But France has also played a significant role in the Middle East, especially in the region of the Middle East that we call today the Levant. France had colonial possessions in this region. They still have one, in fact, and that's the tiny island off the coast of Syria called Melilla. It's a tiny slice of France in the Middle East. But France's influence in the region didn't end with their colonial possessions. For example, in Lebanon, which is often referred to as the Switzerland of the Middle East because of its large number of Christians. Well, that was actually due in part to French influence. The Maronite Christians of Lebanon, who are mostly Greek Catholic, well, they trace their allegiance back to the 12th century, when a group of Arab Christians broke away from the rule of the Caliphate and sought refuge under the rule of the French king. Ever since then, there have been Christians in Lebanon who were loyal to the French crown. And after the French Revolution and the Napoleonic Wars, the Lebanese Maronites actually requested permission from the Ottoman authorities to establish schools in their villages where they could teach the children of Lebanon French language and culture. This was seen as an important way to preserve French influence in the region, and the Ottomans allowed these schools to be established. But it wasn't only schools. In the early 20th century, a French military mission was sent to Lebanon to help train the Lebanese army. And when World War I broke out, the French encouraged the Maronites to revolt against the Ottomans and join the British and French campaign to capture Jerusalem. After the war, France's King Charles X actually granted Mount Lebanon official independence as a sovereign state with its own constitution and parliament. But it was a puppet state of France, and its purpose was mainly to serve as a French protectorate to counterbalance British influence in the region. This brings us to the rise of Arab nationalism in the region and the increased calls for independence from the French. A major event was the 1936 Syrian Revolt, which saw a lot of fighting between French colonial troops and Arab nationalists. The French response was brutal. They executed over 3,000 Syrians, including the poet and one of the leaders of the revolt, Al-Uri. France basically put down the revolt with an iron fist. But after World War II, with the rise of the United States as a world power, the French couldn't afford to maintain their empire as they had before. That meant they offered many of their colonies, including those in the Middle East, the option to become a part of the French community, a group of sovereign states allied to each other. But the US didn't like this idea, especially in the Middle East. America wanted the free and open access to the oil fields of the region. And so the US pressured France into granting full independence to their Middle Eastern colonies. And so in 1943, France recognized the independence of Syria and Lebanon. In Syria, the new government was dominated by the Ba'ath Party, which was a pan-Arab nationalist party that was hostile to both the British and the Americans. Soon, Syria became a battleground between these three great powers: the US, Britain, and France, each trying to gain influence over Syria and the other Arab states. In Lebanon, France actually intervened in 1958 during a major revolt. But by the 1960s, France had little left of their empire and even less influence in the region. And so when the Iranian Revolution broke out in 1979, France had no role in it. They were simply caught off guard by it. And it wasn't until 2 years later in 1981 that the French president, Giscard d'Estaing, switched sides and decided to sell arms to Iran. But that was after the revolution. France did not play a role in the revolution itself.